Arts Initiative.
Great, now face to your left.
Asian Arts Initiative is a community-based arts nonprofit, and our mission is to use art as a tool for social change and racial equity. And so we had started off as an initiative out of the Painted Bride Art Center back in the 90s. In the wake of the Rodney King verdict, there was a lot of racial tension between Black and Asian communities. And so we just started out as a way to try and alleviate that through art.
It certainly seems that they are preparing for some kind of confrontation.
I think the Painted Bride wanted to develop the program, and they got funding for it to address racial tensions between African American communities and Asian American community at the time in Philadelphia. I was charged with convening an advisory committee and also sort of developing its first program. And what the committee wanted to do was actually switch the focus of the initiative to sort of address institutional racism against Asian Americans and Asian American communities in Philadelphia particularly. They felt it was problematic for an institution like the Painted Bride, which is mostly white, to sort of focus it on, quote unquote, problems between two different minority groups.
Gail comes in. We were kind of say, oh yeah, this is a good program. We want to keep this. And Gail, on the other hand, was saying, well, it's a good program, but I want to grow it. And there was some tension.
One of the staff members I remember saying to me, but you're called the Asian Arts Initiative because you're our initiative. Like you can't exist on your own. But really, I don't do well with people telling me I can't do things.
She took the initiative and she was very strong and unconflicted about where she was going with that. And it's best not to stand in her way. We probably would have kept it as in a small pot. She put it in a large pot so it could grow.
You know why? Because I want to add to our crisis. I want to take on more than just what we bargained for.
These words ring true today as they did yesterday.
I feel like this is more than just like an art gallery. It's also just it just brings the Asian American community together in Philadelphia.
At that time in Philadelphia, really there was no other Asian American arts organization. There was also not, there weren't a lot of pan-Asian American efforts. And so I think a lot of our work, especially in the early years, was as much about like building and forming a sense of community as it was also about identifying and supporting artists in our communities.
What is it that you feel like is the most important thing that you get from coming here? A sense of community.
Just bringing community together.
I see a place where I can belong.
Participating in the Asian American community in Philadelphia.
Poets of our own, performers of our own, dancers of our own. And that's a neat thing for a lot of us.
Spend a lot of time with really terrific people.
A sense of community, of belonging with people who think like me and who are fun to be around.
Even though I went to a very diverse high school where it was 1/3 Asian Americans, 1/3 Black, and 1/3 white, so like pretty diverse, it was still not a place where I necessarily could identify with. So coming here to the Asian Arts Initiative, it was freeing, being able to have this space where we can not just do the arts in various forms, but also having the people around us where we can grow up together and learn about the different Asian American issues, the histories, and about our own identity. My friends who are part of Generation, I just remember crying when they performed their piece. It really resonated with what Asian Arts Initiative is. It's really about your own personal experience being shown in art.
Listen, asshole, stop trying to guess what I am. Stop trying to tell me what I'm not.
The Something to Say workshop was the reason that I started coming to the programs at the Asian Arts Initiative. And I remember there was going to be a show with this spoken word poetry group called I Was Born with Two Tongues. And at the time, I didn't know what spoken word poetry was. I thought the name was kind of cool. And, you know, I showed up and I was like blown away by like what they were doing. Lots of cursing and lots of like, you know, like, I'm not gonna be this for you and I'm not gonna be, and I just remember like, oh, like nobody's gonna stop them, you know, like they're sort of just saying their piece and like you're just gonna have to stand there and take it because that's them. The most important thing is meeting very, very interesting Asian American artists.
Watch my finger unfurl. You picked the wrong Asian woman to mess with.
I was just in Harrisburg with Katsi, who's the newest member of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts and the second Asian American ever to be appointed. And I was like reminiscing about how I knew her when she was 18. It is really amazing, like to be able to look back and see like some of the faces and the names of people who've been part of the organization. It just makes me think about like how fortunate I've been to get to meet so many amazing people and to see and how much I've had a chance to grow, you know, over the years.
Well, actually, I met someone who I'm gonna spend my rest of my life together here. So.
I feel like I've gained my roots.
Like I said, it's my first time here. I really like the space.
This is just a stepping stone, this building here.
Oh, are you talking about having to knock this building down for all those condos and things?
It's going to be sad to see, you know, it move.
The initiative is at a very good place. It's done a lot of work and there's a lot of potential.
It's poised to do great things, and we'll just have to wait and see.
I just have a lot of faith that positive is going to come out of this.
This was basically a storage place. God knows what they did. It was very weird. Some photography, something, but it didn't seem very kosher. And then this was really in shambles with a huge hole right in the front as you came in. But we took the plunge. To me, it feels like a miracle. It's really one of those moments in my life that stands out as a, you know, amazing experience.
It still looks so pretty, right?
Yeah.
No, bring it in, you eat it as lunch. Yes.
The social practice lab was forming, coming together. I was invited to put in an application. I didn't think I was at that level in my career, but certainly through Gail's many invitations of like, hey, you know, we could work with you as an artist. We'd be interested in hearing an application from you. That application was accepted, and I kind of got my first big opportunity as an artist. I was thrown into the deep end and had to kind of learn on the fly. So it was, I think I crashed a few times, but that was very important in understanding that I could pick myself back up and actually complete a project.
And now we are 25 years later.
This is actually our 25th anniversary year.
Yeah, looking back like makes me just like think about it, like how many people have been touched by the organization and how many people have also shaped the organization.
The initiative is an older friend
all the friends, to all.
The fact that they have retained this relationship with me over the years is actually, I'm very touched by it, because I feel that there has always been built into the Arts Initiative this recognition that it's important to have this exchange of intergenerational knowledge, or to bring old and new together.
For sure, I think that there should be more programs geared towards people who don't have art regularly included in their culture and their lives.
I know you just can't say you have arrived when you have a nice building and own it and have money in the bank. You just can't say, well, I'm here, I'm good, that's it. You need challenges to grow. I'll put it that way.
There is this changing perception of what it means to be Asian American and Asian in America when the world and the city is changing so rapidly around us. And so there is this sense of accountability to communities beyond just Asian communities.
Of all the things, I really don't ever want us to get away from the emerging artists and the work we do with youth.
I don't know. That's sort of the next set of staff and board and volunteers and artists and community members will get to imagine and shape.
We invite you to stay for a post-performance reception and to meet the artists and each other. Enjoy the show.